today. Find your way with Crossroads Hospice and Palliative Care. Live life on your terms, not your diseases. Live your life like it's your best catch ever. Let's talk now. Crossroads Hospice and Palliative Care.
I guess that's all right. Okay. How you doing there, Brother Gary? They have a different setup for Facebook. So I'm it's different. I don't know why folks like to change things. I guess it's supposed to be for the better. I can't really tell, but we're here, so we're going to use whatever they give us. In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always. Thank you for joining me here for another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper or the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. It's been a while since I've been live, and I don't mean to hold you for a long time at all. I am happy to know that many of you are doing well during this what they call a pandemic, or this sickness that in the so-called Black community we do not take seriously because of a certain mindset, a certain mentality. And so now we are filled with tears and we seem to be shocked because we was told that our dark skin color, now come on now, we talk about the melanin. Now, we are called Black people. But if you really look at us, very few of us really are Black people. We are brown or high yellow. There's a few of us dark folks running around. I mean, look at En Vogue. En Vogue shows you exactly, basically what we really are. We're not really dark people. They are wearing black. You do not see many of us blending in with our clothes that's black like that. You don't see that because that's not what we are. We're not. We're dark brown, if anything. Even myself, as dark as I am, I'm not really that dark. I would be darker if I was out in the sun more and able to absorb some of that sunlight. I would darken up. If you do a Google search and put in like Black Americans or something like that, you do not see a whole lot of Black people. You see brown and high yellow folks, and you have all these folks who have become obsessed with melanin. And the ones like myself who have a lot of melanin, I don't trip off of it. Those who don't have it, oh, the melanin this and the black this and the black. You don't hear me talk about the black this and the melanin this. Don't mean anything. I understand all things have a good side, a positive, and a negative. There are many wonderful things that you can relate to melanin. There's also some things that might not be so great about it. That's with anything in this life, in this reality. It's a good thing being tall. But in certain situations, you wish you were small. Of course, many of you don't want to be fat. But in certain situations, you may not believe it or not, being fat is actually good. So in this life, there's positive and negative, the yin and the yang. That's how it is in this life. But there are a group of us whose mind has become delusional, and they believe I am better because they've been around racists all their life. They've been around racists going on 500 years, and they've taken on the minds of racists, and they found something that makes them better, so I cannot get sick of the coronavirus. I cannot get sick because I'm a god. I'm a goddess. I'm a king. I'm a queen. I'm all these things. And now you find yourself with a toe tag, waiting your turn to get buried somewhere. You and your melanin. And you have so many of us in this community, we have a childish mindset, and we really don't take nothing serious. We don't take our lives serious. We don't take our children serious. We don't take our jobs serious. We don't take nothing serious. We have a childlike mindset. I'm going to party anyway. F that virus. I'm going to do what I want to do. And you do that. So no tears should be shed when they put you with a toe tag 6 foot under the ground, where here lies a fool. I mean, if you're going to catch this virus and die, there's nothing that's going to stop that. But it's stupid to have the mindset, if you see fire, I'm going to walk through it. Okay, if you protect it, if you have the proper gear, I see why you can say, I'm going to walk through this fire. You don't have nothing. That's fire. I can't, I got melanin. I can't be burned up. Whatever. So we can believe and we can say whatever we want, that's fine. But for whatever we do, there's a consequence. There's a consequence for our actions. Whether it's good or bad, there's a consequence. Unfortunately, we continue to make poor choices and make bad mistakes. And sometimes it costs us our lives. I don't want to hold us for a long time at all. I want to send a shout out to my soul brother Gary Wilson out there in Facebook land, and to all those who might be listening to this broadcast, of which I don't really expect a whole lot of folks. I'm not on my regular YouTube channels, so I don't expect a whole lot of folks to be listening to this broadcast anyway, but I'm going to talk. I will post it on a channel later on next month or something like that. Who knows? Or maybe not at all. I just want to talk briefly on this topic, the unjustified hate of Pan-Africanism and pro-blackness. Now, it's a shame, and I don't have time for it. You think that Pan-Africanism is a good thing, and if you do your research and get the information, you will see that Pan-Africanism of itself is not a bad thing. It's really simple. If you do your research and get the information, if you really understand what pro-blackness really supposed to be about, it's not a bad thing at all. You have two ideologies, you have two tools that we can embrace. They both, there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing bad about them. However, you have a group of people whose mindset is like that of the racist, and they think like the oppressor, and they have turned pro-blackness into racism. They have turned Pan-Africanism into racism. They have taken religious influence and other ideas and put this into these philosophies and turn it into something that is not. And so now, instead of loving, the victims of oppression, you become an oppressor yourself. All over YouTube, all over social media, you do not see the Pan-African, you do not see the black first, you do not see these pro-blackity black folks, you do not see them loving the black man and woman in America, soul brothers and sisters. You don't see love coming from them. You see hate and disgust toward their own people because they are like the racists. They have taken on the same mind as a racist. The only thing they want to do is argue and debate. And if you don't believe what they believe, then they want to call people coons and Uncle Toms and Uncle Ruckus and all this other nonsense. And then when you fire back, they cannot handle what they dish out. Because the reality is they are wrong. The reality is that they are clowns. You're going to hate me because I don't embrace what you believe. I don't have to embrace you. That's what slavery was about. People was forced to work. People was forced to think. People was forced to work and think according to their slave master. I am not your slave. We are not your slave. This is a problem with Pan-Africanism, which that's not what Pan-Africanism is about, or pro-blackness. You have people who are filled with hatred. If you take the black out of their vocabulary and replace it with white, they sound just like the racists. They act just like the racists because they are the racist wannabes. So there is no trying to work with these Pan-Africanists. They sit around, they are incompetent, they cannot do what they claim they can do. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. They are incompetent, they have no skills, they have no talent, just big mouths. That's all they can do is run their mouth. If you start at 2010 till now, what have Pan-African crap, black first, pro-black, all this black people, what has it done? What has it accomplished? Black power. What has it accomplished between 2010 and now? Absolutely nothing. except talk. A bunch of debates, speeches, DVDs, conferences. That's all they know how to accomplish. Anything else they claim to be successful, they don't even talk about it. It's not even worth bragging about because it's nothing. In the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. So they want to hate you. They want to hate me because they are losers. Pan-Africanists are a group of losers. Pro-blackness is a movement of losers. That's not my fault. That's their fault because they have taken on the ways of the oppressor. They've taken on the ways of the racists. They are racist or chocolate-covered racists. That's what they have become. And they hate just like unjustified for no reason. I never understood. You're going to hate me because I have black skin. What? That's stupid. Nobody done nothing to you. These people hate you. I've done nothing to none of these people. They don't like you. They hate you. If anything, I gave to them and helped them. But that's not enough. They want you to be their slave, and you're not going to get a slave out of me. You can kick rocks. It's not going to happen. I would suggest to all those under the sound of my voice that you release yourself and you reject these Pan-African, pro-blackness, black first, all this nonsense. They are no good to you. They are very detrimental. You will be wasting your time on a road to nowhere. Oh yeah, they sound good. That's all you're going to get from them. They sound good. That's all you're going to get. Is they sound good. That's all you're going to get. A big mouth, a lot of talk, but nothing tangible, nothing of substance. 2010 to 2020, put them all together. Put the Nation of Islam, the Hebrew Israelites, the Kemetic folks, the Moors, Nation of Gods, and I put them all together. From 2010 to 2020, put them all together. What have they accomplished? Absolutely nothing. And then they will shower their hatred on you because you show them you ain't done nothing. Oh, you a coon, you Uncle Tom. You the coon, you the Uncle Tom. Because you're not doing nothing for your people. I'm here for the people. I do this for the people. Well, what exactly have you done for the people? Now, in the grand scheme, I'm not saying that you've accomplished a little bit of taste of stuff. But it's like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. That's what you have done. You're not capable of putting or healing the wound, only putting a Band-Aid on the wound. You're not capable. You don't have the power. You don't have the wisdom. You don't know what to do. You're just talking, and it sounds good, like the preacher do in church. And God is going to come here, and the wrath of God, and the saints going to be raised from the dead, and God is going to come here and heal us, and you will be rewarded for being a righteous person, and you will say nothing but a bunch of talk. You have yet to see heaven. You have yet to see hell. All this stuff is nothing but a bunch of talk. And for some of you, you are satisfied with talk. More power to you. But you might as well not do nothing at all instead of perpetrating this fraud, pretending you're a God, pretending you're a warrior, pretending you're a man. You're not a man. You are not a man living with somebody that don't like you in this country. You make no laws, you make no policy, your opinion means nothing. You're not a man. Nobody respects you. Nobody fears you. You're nothing in this country. You could leave tomorrow and these people wouldn't give a damn. They ain't lost nothing. You bring children into this world and you have nothing to give them except a slave life like you have lived. And you proud of it. The only thing you want to do is get drunk, get high, be religious, be black power, feel good. That's all you want. And make more babies for the slave plantation. Don't forget that. You got to make babies because that's the only way you can feel like a man is by having babies. So you can feel like you can control somebody and tell somebody what to do. Because in your real life, the peckerwood is the one that controls everything about you. So you need to feel like a man. And you'll be happy to find a woman you can bully and boss around so you can feel like a man. You're a bunch of chump. And that's what Pan-Africanism and pro-blackness is all about. A bunch of bullies, incompetent, vulgar, nasty, hate-filled people, just like racists. So if you think to push Caucasian people out the way and bring them in, you think your life is going to be better, you got a rude awakening. I suggest to us that we free our mind, and when you free your mind, the rest will follow. When you free your mind, all the answers that you need will come. And then you take what comes in your mind, bring it to your hands, and you build. And you use your hand to build and solve the problem with the answer that came from your mind. These people can't even think. Regurgitate the same plagiarized stuff over and over again. The same viewpoint, the same mindset. And you wonder why you're not going nowhere. You should have been in a better position in life when this coronavirus popped up, but you're not. You follow this pro-black leadership, this comedic black person. Where has it led you? What has it done? And you can keep doing. You have all these gods, Allah, Jesus, and whatever. All these gods, you've been doing it for hundreds of years. Look at your condition. You mean to tell me you can't see that something is wrong? A hammer is a good tool, but you cannot use a hammer like a screwdriver. If the job calls for a screwdriver, you have to use a screwdriver, not a hammer. You could try to use a hammer like a screwdriver. And see, this is another thing. You don't understand your situation, and you're not using the right tools to deal with the situation properly. Hollering and screaming, black power, and you got melanin in the peanut gland, and you got a third eye. You can see with 3 eyes and all this other nonsense, and you can fly out your body and fly all over the room and go to parallel universes and realms and all this other nonsense. And you wondering why in the real world you can't get nothing going because you living in fantasy, feel good rhetoric. And if it's not this nonsense, it's crack, it's opioids, it's other drugs, it's liquor, it's pornography. You got to find something to feel good about, to escape your reality. Allah, Jesus, something to help you deal with reality. It's not going to change. You You can holler pro-black, and you can be black first, and you can be comedic, all those things you want to. Your situation is not going to change until you do things proper. And you can believe in Allah and Jesus and black first and Pan-African. You can do that. As long as you do things proper. You're not doing things properly. You don't really understand the situation that you're in. You don't know how to solve your problem. And you're too arrogant to say, I really don't know what to do. Because clearly you don't know what to do. Because if you knew what to do, you'd be in a better place years ago. But you're not. I have been told that our situation is probably worse than physical slavery. Because at least the physical slaves understood the situation. But see, you get to play on Facebook, you get to drive fine cars, and you get to be a millionaire, and you get to pretend you free. So you really lost. You really a comfortable slave. You got air conditioning and gas and electricity. You spoiled as hell. And you really think at the end of the day, there's going to be a beautiful outcome. That's not how life works. You think that you can't die and go extinct. Many life forms have been on this earth. Been here and gone. We don't know nothing about them. There's nothing special about you that you can't go extinct. And maybe that's the best thing for you. That's where you are on your way anyway. It's inevitable. So enjoy yourself for the time being. Keep acting like a slave. Keep pretending you are God. You are man. You all this, your chest all puffed up. Enjoy it while it lasts. The earth would be a much better place when you're gone. There is no benefit to the earth. There's no benefit to nature that you be here. The only thing you do is take. You don't give nothing back to nature. You're vulgar, you're nasty, you're hate-filled, you're arrogant, you're a bunch of know-it-alls. But when it's all said and done, we're going to find out how much all that you really know. I am sick of these Pan-African pro-blackness mindset folks. You might as well, actually, I had a better conversation with white supremacists, racists, than them. They're no good for us in the soul community. Their mindset. And I want to make something perfectly clear. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them have good heads on their shoulder. They're lost. They're caught up in pseudoism, this fake black scholarship garbage, which is nothing but a replica, nothing but a response to white supremacy, pink supremacy, racism. That's all it is. If it was not for white supremacy, if it was not for pink racism, all this black this and comedic this and all, it wouldn't even exist. Pan-Africanism wouldn't exist. None of this stuff would even exist. So it's their answer or their response to racism. To be a racist yourself. You can't be a racist, you don't have the power. But they really want to try. Matter of fact, some of them even tell you, yeah, I'm a racist, I'm proud of my race. Yeah, I'm a superior race. They even would tell you that. Because it's the same stuff. This pro-black, blackity-black, all that, it's the offspring of white supremacy. It's the child of white supremacy. That's why they act like white supremacists. That's why they carry themselves like white supremacists. That's why they use the word coon and Uncle Tom and Uncle Ruckus and Sambo. They use those type of words because they got it, because they are the offspring. They was taught that by their massa. They are the same thing. They mean you no good. They're holding the soul, the black community back. Keep following them to this road to nowhere. Keep following them to hell. If there was such a place. Want to make that perfectly clear. That's a fictional, but I'm just saying we're just going to use that as what they call it as just I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but we have understanding what hell means. So that's why I used it. It's not real. There's no physical place, eternal damnation. You're going to burn forever. What can burn forever? We don't even think about what we're taught. And if you are a spirit, physical fire cannot hurt a spirit. Makes no sense. But we love things. I don't know, for some reason, so-called black folks, the Negro, the African Americans, whatever you want to call us, we love things that don't make sense. We love things that's not logical. We love the Avengers and Justice League of America, the Black Panther type of, we love to live in that type of fantasy, and we believe that is real. We love living in fairy tales. But death and this virus and other things that's getting ready to come at you, they're going to show you what reality really is. So keep flying out of your body, astral projecting out your body. Keep going to other realms and dimensions. Keep doing that. Keep waiting on Jesus, 2,000 years. Keep waiting on Allah, 1,400 years. Keep waiting, keep doing what you're doing. And you're going to get exactly what's coming to you, and you deserve it. No tears should be shed for you. You are an adult. You are adults. You grown men and women, and you still believe in Santa Claus. I call it the Santa Claus syndrome. You want to give credit to something that did not earn it. Santa Claus did not bring nothing, but you want to give Santa Claus credit. You want to give God and Jesus and all these make-believe creatures that you believe in credit for something that you cannot prove that they've done. Immature, childlike mind, slave teachings. You're not going to get that here. So if you cannot stand to live in reality, you can't come to this house, because I'm going to keep it real as the best I can. And those who come here going to make sure I keep it real the best I can, because they no longer want to live in fairy tales and delusions. Your condition is not going to change until you accept reality. Accept reality, my friend, is much easier. When you're trying to explain delusions and fairy tales like it's real, you have a lot of problems. Keep it real. You don't have to, it's not a big drawn out explanation. It's fairly simple. I can experience it, you can experience it. Has nothing to do with belief. This is what we know, not what we believe. So on that note, let me get out of here. Talk with you later, if that's possible. And take this virus thing serious, because it is killing folks. It is. It's killing folks. Keep listening to these pseudo scholars, these black scholarship and the melanin gonna do this. Keep listening to them. Matter of fact, some of you Some of you actually know somebody that have died or sick from this thing. It's very serious. On that note, let me get out of here. Talk with y'all later. Peace and respect you. And that's all. That's all, folks.